Welcome. I'm delighted to be joined today by Bruno Aziza. Bruno is a business intelligence expert, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about managing it in a crisis and what that means from his perspective. Bruno, welcome. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You've got a lot of experience in business intelligence, international experience. I know you've just written a book on business performance. As I was saying to you earlier on, we're in the middle of a financial crisis, as you will well know. The first line of any strategy is get to next week. Mm-hmm. So cultural change programs are going out the window. People are thinking, what can we save? Now strikes me as not being the time to implement a radical change in culture. And I wonder, to cynics who might say that, what would your response be?
I think what this means for organizations, and particularly how it relates to business intelligence, they really have a couple of options. They can be an organization that has built capability around business intelligence in the past, and typically that is the best practice, is plan for business intelligence performance management when times are good, because you expect that you will go through waves. So when you're in that case, you're able to react much faster and almost anticipate some of the areas of cost that you need to go after. Because the risk is to be in the second case, a type of organization where you have not been able to anticipate this, and the first reaction you're going to have is to cut costs dramatically, and possibly in areas that are core to your business. The natural tendency, I'd say, of those organizations is to cut costs around employees, because employees is about 70% of the cost of any organization structure, I think. So that's the natural reaction, and I think we see this across multiple sectors: financial services, manufacturing, constructions, and IT now. So I think the advice I would give to organizations out there and how they can manage in a time of crisis, I think the first one is, don't panic. Really assess where you are today, what is your core, and what's really important, because you could make great decisions, and you could also make the worst decisions in the entire life of your organization, because if you cut in the wrong places, especially if you cut the wrong type of employees, then you can really have challenges moving forward. Now, it's also, on the flip side, a huge opportunity for organizations, and I think it's an opportunity particularly when it comes to business intelligence, because when you think about what could kickstart a great business intelligence and performance management initiative, I would say, is a time of recognized crisis. Often one of the issues you have when you have to manage business performance is to convince everybody around the table, in business and IT, that there's indeed a problem. I think we all agree that there is a problem. So proposing creative answers and really giving back the power to information workers and business decision makers inside the organization that they're going to get the right information, and they're going to be able to empower anybody inside the organization to make the right cost-sensitive decisions is key to their strategy. In fact, to back that up with, I think, recent statistics, Gartner just came out with a new top list for finance folks, and business intelligence is on top of the list. And I think that's very much because they recognize the importance of knowing what's happening and making the right decisions for their business, short term, but also long term. So I think organizations in the business intelligence space have anywhere between 6 to 10 different systems, and the issues around that obviously is cost of maintenance and cost of training, but also lack of integration. And when you have lack of integration across multiple systems, your decision making is impaired, or you have different views of the business across the various people using those various systems. And now is the time to gather everybody and really, from a cultural standpoint, acknowledge that there is a crisis, and how do you get most value out of what you have today. It might be that you need to invest in a system that is that you don't have today, that might be providing more value than what you have had over years. But I'm definitely not encouraging you to go out and spend millions on a new system. I think the first step is assess, what you've been doing over the last 10 years. Has it provided value?